Stephanie here from All Things Social. We are into week 3 of the A to Z of social media, and this week it is C. So C stands for customer. Now I know that back in week 1 we talked about audience. A was for audience. If you haven't watched A for audience or B for branding and voice, make sure you go back now and watch those videos and then come back here. So you know who your audience are as a business and who you want to be talking to. This week we're going to take your audience a step further and talk about your customer on social media, which can be a little bit different. So let's stop thinking actually about this as your ideal customer and let's think more about your ideal follower. Let me try and make this a little bit clearer for you. I'll talk about a recent journey that I went on to work out actually who my ideal customer was and who my ideal follower was, and they were actually a little bit different for different reasons. So when I first started as a social media manager, a lot of what I was doing was community management and managing people's pages for them, creating content and staying on top of their customer replies and content and everything like that. So when that was my primary aim of my business and that was my target audience and my target consumer, the kind of people that I needed to attract on social media were busy business owners. They had a small business, but maybe they had a small team around them, and they were looking to outsource because they were busy. Maybe they couldn't afford to have a full-time social media person in their office, but they needed someone they could trust who could get on top of things and make sure that their social platforms were running smoothly. I've named this person Sally. I know that my brand tends to appeal more to women, so I chose a woman, but if you're a guy out there, hi, I'm not excluding you. Now Sally, in my mind, is your typical established small business owner. She has a lot going on. So throughout the day, she's often playing a lot of different roles and wearing a lot of different hats. Therefore, one minute she could be the accountant, she could be the CEO, she could be the salesperson, she could be the marketing person. She doesn't have time to also keep an eye on these 24/7 platforms that are running on social media. However, as my business has evolved and I've started doing a lot more coaching, putting out a lot more content that is kind of helping you to do it yourself and understand social media for you so that you can feel empowered to be able to do your own social media and not have to pay somebody to do it for you, then I realised actually that in terms of ideal customer and ideal follower, for me they were different things because my business was evolving. So when I found the time to focus more on the kind of content that I want to put out there as All Things Social, as opposed to only working on client content, what I needed to do was actually stop and realise that people like Sally are not interested in that content. Sally will always be somebody who may find me through an ad or a recommendation, and she will just be looking to outsource to get something off her plate. Now, the kind of person that will watch these videos and take in more of the how-to content is not going to be Sally. I had to create a different persona for the person that I was appealing to on my social media channels, which was possibly different to the type of clients that I was already serving. Now that's where Susie came in. To me, Susie is a little bit younger, she's probably more of a solopreneur, she probably is more capable on social media than Sally, and she understands more of how the online world works. To me, Susie is far more willing to buy an ebook, spend the time to teach herself, watch all of my free online content, take it all in, read the how-tos, than Sally is. Sally will never be interested in that. She wants to grow her business and grow her team. Susie would not want to be that person. Therefore, when I'm creating content for my social channels, I'm talking to Susie. But if I'm creating an ad, then I'm probably more pushing towards Sally. So when I'm creating online content, be it a blog post, a newsletter, an Instagram post, or even a video series like this, I know that I'm talking to Susie because I need to bring value to Susie and help Susie learn to be a better business owner herself when it comes to social media. Sally, as experience has shown me, will find me. She will come on recommendation from other previous clients, or she'll find me simply by Googling. She may see the content that I have, but she's not going to take it in to try and teach herself. It will just serve to show that I have those expertise, and then she'll get in touch to speak to me directly. When I'm creating content of value, I'm talking to Susie, and that's the audience that I'm building right now. All of you out there watching these videos, you're the kind of audience that will continue to come back because you want to learn more. If you are a Sally, you might have dipped in here, but you may not have time to watch the rest of the series, and that's cool, I'll see you later. But my focus here is Susie. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, hang on, I'm not exactly Susie. Now, hopefully this hasn't put you off. The one thing that I find whenever I teach this in my coaching sessions or in the workshops that I teach is people get really stuck on this and they can't bring themselves to narrow it down to one person and say, it's Susie, she's 30, she lives alone, she has her own business, she wants to teach herself. Well, no, because I could also be teaching this person or that person, and I could be serving this one, and I don't want to alienate all those people. The problem is that that then comes back to what we spoke about in week 1 when I said that you will start to dilute your message and dilute your content. It's absolutely fine to be strict with yourself and speak to one person. You won't alienate other people. What you'll actually do is appear as one slick, cohesive brand, no matter who you are talking to. Now, if you really can't narrow it down to one specific person that you're talking to, it may be that you literally do have more than one ideal customer and ideal follower. That's absolutely fine, because the one thing that you can do is focus on different people on different platforms. For example, your ideal follower on Facebook may be a different person to the person that's following you on Instagram, and therefore you can tailor your content to speak to each person separately. But we'll get into that when we talk about platforms next week. Shh. Okay, so let's have a couple more examples because I know that people can start to get a little bit confused by this. Say you are a toy company. If you're making a TV advert, you're actually making your TV advert to appeal to kids so that they go to their parents and say, "Mummy, mummy, I want this." But with social media, ideally, the kids are not there. So you actually need to be speaking to the parents. So you need to talk about why this toy is a good thing for parents to buy for their children. So all of your content is tailored towards the parents and their buying decisions and not towards the kids. I recently worked with a woman that runs an agency for carers for older people. Now obviously there aren't many 90-year-olds on social media looking for their own care homes, so that's not your target audience, that isn't your ideal follower, that isn't who you're talking to when you're creating content for your social media platforms. You're rather creating content for their family members, maybe their middle-aged children who are looking for a solution for the care of their elderly parents. Make sure that the person that you're talking to is the decision maker in whatever transaction it is that you're looking to put across. Okay, so this has been quite a long video and I hope that it has made sense to you. If you do have any questions, you know that I am always in my Facebook group, All Things Social. You can head on over there to ask some questions or just simply ask me questions in the comments below and I'd be very happy to answer them for you. So that's about it for this week. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you for letter D next week.